Your favourite mega church cult survivor, Leon, and I'm alive. We should have a survivor joining us. I couldn't come on here with my usual attire. I had to come on here, you know, giving pizzazz. I do have a little surprise when E comes on because I'm in full support of the community. Wanted to show my love. You guys have been ostracised and put through so much. I want you to know that I love you so much for who you are. Oh, he's requested chair. Hello, honey.
Hi, how are you? Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
How are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good. How are you?
We matching and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you, my king? I love you so much.
I love you too.
I just have to like dress for the occasion because you're such a superstar. So
Oh,
I didn't feel I could come, you know, average. I felt like I had to like, you know, bring the whole like, you know, shabazz, like, because
and
you
you
are a
did.
superstar,
And you did.
and it has to bring superstar vibes. Otherwise, we just can't do the live now. Come on,
Absolutely.
we can't do that.
Absolutely.
You have to come
Absolutely.
correct, baby. All right, my love. I'm so honored to have you here. You're
Thank
absolutely gorgeous. You're just, I'm mesmerized by TikTok. I know you can't see him. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to put it all up on TikTok and everything. But we will do a TikTok live, won't we? We're going to sort out the login stuff and we'll do a TikTok live when
Yeah.
you've got time. Can you guys hear him? Wait, hold on. 1 minute. I'm going to have to pause it. All right. So should I introduce myself and then you introduce yourself, babe, and then we'll just get into it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. All right. So I'm Leah Lauder, and I was in a mega church cult under Dagwood Mills for 18 years. And I hold lives in the space for survivors. And then we have a guest survivor on now. He's going to introduce himself. TikTok, you won't see him, but you'll hear the voice. Okay. All right. Do you want to go, True?
So yeah, my name is Ezra. I was in First Love for 7 years. Yo, I saw some things. They did conversion therapy on me. It wasn't fun, but I've gotten out of it now and I'm living my life and I'm flourishing. So
And I think, do you know what, for me, if you don't mind me coming in here, Ezra, because I've been saying E because I've been waiting for you to kind of introduce yourself and your name. And like he's saying, guys, he went through conversion therapy at 15. They recruited you at 14, didn't they?
yeah.
And I just want to say that I'm going to hold the space here and try not to get upset. But it was absolutely heartbreaking hearing about, you know, what happened to you there. But do you think we could just start at the beginning, like how they recruited you?
Yeah, so basically, I think one tactic that they use very well a lot, and you will hear it a lot, is the love bombing.
Mm.
So what happened was I was 14, I was in town, Sheffield, big up Sheffield. Um, and basically what happened was I had a girl come up to me in town and she said, "Can I pray for you?" And I said, "Yes, baby, of course." So she prayed for me, whatnot, but it was one of those kind of prayers where I don't know if people know First Love, you know that they have a prayer to give your life to Christ, where you will repeat the words after them. You're more or less saying in the prayer, "I don't believe in anything other than God," right? So what happened was she took my hands, she said to me, "Repeat these words after me." And I repeated them because I didn't know what she was saying. So I remember the words very vividly. It was, you have to put your finger up and say, "Satan, I serve you no more. I am
Mm.
a child of God."
Yeah.
And I did it in town, and she was like, "Oh, you're really cool. I like your outfit. You look really nice. Your skincare routine. Oh my gosh, like really hyping me up, hyping me up, hyping me up." And I was thinking, okay, cool. Like, I could be friends with this girl. I can kick you. I like this girl. She's cool. She's good vibes, right? Bearing
Mm.
in mind, I'm 14 years old. This girl, I'm actually really close friends with her. Monica, I love you, baby. She no longer goes to First Love. She was my
Oh,
shepherd.
wicked.
She was my shepherd. She's no longer in First Love. So what happened was, um, she was messaging me. I gave her my Instagram or my number or whatever it was, whatever the case was, and she was messaging me a lot. You know, just checking in. How are you doing? How's your life? But it was every day, every day, every day. This girl was messaging,
Constant messaging.
constant. Like, how are you today? What are you doing today? Have you been to school today? Have you been to class today?
Ooh.
How's life been? How's your mom?
Monitoring,
Hmm?
like monitoring your every move.
Yeah. How's your mom? How's your dad? How's this? How's that? Do you want to come to church on Sunday? Do you want to come to church on Sunday? We have the center on Thursday. Do you want to come to the center on Thursday? And it got to the point where I was thinking, girl, you really want me to come to church, huh?
Yeah.
So Um, there was one particular Sunday where they had a what's it called International Sunday. So basically, what happened was people would go. You would take your flag from like your country. Me, I'm a big Jamaican man. So I was thinking, okay, cool. It was advertised to me that it was gonna be like just an event, just a normal event. It wasn't a church service. There was gonna be food there. People were gonna be talking about like their countries and their culture. And I thought, wow, I can get this, right?
Mm.
So I go. Little did I know this was just a regular church service with a few flags scattered around. So I thought to myself, damn, okay, this is weird. But I obviously did it because they do this thing where like the seating arrangements is very coercive, it's coercive control. So what they do is new people, and I noticed that I used to be an usher, by the way. And when I was an usher, we were told that this is an exclusive, guys. New people coming into the church, if you're like a first timer, they'll seat you in the middle of the row because you're less likely to get up and walk out if you're in the middle of the row.
Yeah.
So that's what they did to me. Obviously, I was uncomfortable to be thinking, oh, let me just stand up and leave. No. And I went by myself and I was 14. One thing I did mention as well, Leah, is that on this particular Sunday, like I said, I was 14 years old and a guy didn't have bus money. So
You
she
didn't have bus money.
I didn't have bus money. So she said, it's fine. I'll get someone to come and pick you up. So she sent someone to my house. Bearing in mind, I live on the outskirts of Sheffield. She got someone to drive to my house to pick me up, to bring me to church. And obviously, now looking back on that, I think, damn, that's weird. But at the time, I was thinking, wow, this is so cool. Like, these people drive. Like, what? Like, people have cars, like crazy. So, and it was like chauffeur service. Like I felt like I was really like I was that guy, you know. And even like I say, that coupled with the love bombing, with them saying like, "Oh, your outfit, oh, your skin, oh, we'll get people to pick you up. It's fine." Like I was thinking, "Wow, I'm 14 and I'm getting this kind of attention." Like I was really feeling that. I was really, really feeling that. So that's why I ended up going to the service.
Because
And
it's
when
like you are that, innit? And it's like they're showing you that you're that. Yeah.
yeah. And especially
Yeah.
that also, one thing that I do want to say is I feel like they pry on people who are either vulnerable or lonely. Because if you're vulnerable or lonely and someone comes and love bombs, how are you? Are you okay? Would you want to come with? Like you're gonna be like, oh wow, people really care. Let me actually, yeah. So even that is playing in on people's vulnerabilities. So that's one thing. The next thing was I liked the service, Leah. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was nice. Like people were dancing. This is one thing as well. First love is very high energy, but that high energy is performative. You just don't notice it at first.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was high energy. There was people dancing, there was people singing, and I thought, wow, okay, I was feeling it. Yeah. So I ended up going back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. One thing I noticed on like my third visit to First Love is that I'd never spoken to the pastor. So at the end of service, I got up and I went to the front to go because he had his seat. You wasn't allowed to sit in that seat. You wasn't even allowed to look at that seat. Otherwise, you was gonna get cussed to blood clot. So
They're
it's
precious about their seats,
they're
innit?
precious about their
Mm.
seats. So I walked up to the seat. The pastor said to me, "Have you finished MBS yet?" MBS is New Believers School for those of you who don't know. And I said, "No, I haven't even started it yet." He said, "Okay, let's talk after you finished it." Basically inferring that I wasn't allowed to talk to the pastor until I finished New Believers School. And I was thinking, okay, cool. Let me finish New Believers School because I wasn't raised a Christian. I didn't grow up a Christian. That wasn't me. So I really thought this is normal. This is how Christians act. This is what Christianity is about. So I thought, damn, I want to be a good Christian. I want to do this. And also Monica, like we stayed in touch, me and Monica, and she would message me things like, if you're not a Christian, like your family won't be saved either. Like if you're not a good Christian, like your family's not Christian, if you are a good Christian, then you can make sure that your family goes to heaven. And I want my mom to go to heaven. Joanne is a lovely lady. So I was just thinking like, okay, cool. Like, I want to be a good Christian. I want to be a good Christian. It got to the point where I was doing MBS instead of doing my homework for, I think at this point in time, I was in school. I was in year 11.
God.
Um, So instead of doing my homework for school, like GCSEs were coming up, I was actually studying the Bible instead, because they told me that if I studied my Bible enough, everything else would work out for itself. So there was no need to study for exams. There was no need to
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things
shall
shall
be
be added
added on
unto
together.
you, baby.
And you know that they love to use that verse. They love to use that verse. Can you
Yeah.
repeat that one more time just so that people can hear it?
Yeah. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. And they would say, all things
All things, yeah,
shall be
yeah.
added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom and his
hmm
righteousness, and
So,
all things shall be added unto you.
so that's one verse that they use to manipulate you. And they basically say that, like, what you need to do, because when they say the kingdom, they're not talking about the kingdom of heaven. They're talking about the kingdom of Dag Hewitt Mills.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about. So what they're saying to you is, as long as you give your all to this church, as long as you give your last breath, every last drop of blood in your body, forgive,
Well done, because we
forgive,
actually got
forgive.
so sensitive.
As long as you give every drop of breath in your body to this church, you'll be fine. Things will work out for you. And I can give you evidence of that, baby, because in one of Dag Hewitt Mills's books, it says, if you leave this church, you will not succeed in life, inferring that you will succeed in life if you do continue going to this church. So that's what I was thinking, like, damn, I'm 14 years old. I grew up quite lonely. Like, I grew up on the outskirts of Sheffield. Like I said, it was like a retirement home, baby. So there was only old people around the yard. Like, I didn't have that many friends growing up. And I thought, wow, look at all these people. They all care about me. And what I noticed was every single Sunday, I'd have people coming up to me and they would be like, oh my God, Ezra, Ezra's here. Oh my God, Ezra, how are you? Oh my God, Ezra, your outfit. Oh my God, Ezra, like, you look so good today. Ezra, we should go out. Ezra, we should do this. Ezra, we should do that. Then I finished my new believer school. All of a sudden, pim. All of a sudden, pim. And I questioned it. Leah, I questioned it. And I said to my shepherd, I said, hey, everyone was like really, really into like getting me into the church and really like trying to make me feel comfortable. And I just feel like now it's really cliquey. Like everyone sticks to themselves. Everyone sticks to like the choir sticks to the choir. Dancing stars stick to dancing stars. Like no one really talks to me anymore. Like, did I do something wrong? Because I have autism. So one of the things that I struggle with is like, if someone acts off with me, I noticed it straight away. And
Me
I
too.
think, damn, did I do something wrong? Have I done something wrong? Like, so I was questioning myself and asked my shepherd about it. You know what she said to me?
Well,
You know what she said to me? Yeah. She said, now that you're established, we don't really need to check in on you that much because we know you're gonna come back. So basically what you're saying is I don't matter to you anymore because you know you secured my in the church. And some bums on seats, that's all they care about. That's all they care about.
you're
So I
just
think
another number. That's all we are to them, is another number.
you're disposable. If it's not you,
Yeah.
it would be the next. So I was like, damn. Then ministry came into it, and they were saying you need to join a ministry. You need to join a ministry. You need to use your gifts for God. You need to use your gifts for God. But like I said, I was studying for GCSEs at this point. Um, yeah, I was studying for GCSEs at this point. So,
GCSEs. That's so hard to do GCSEs as well.
oh yeah, don't even get me started on that math. GCSE.
Oh my God. How did you do it?
I didn't. COVID hit, and I was I was balling.
Yeah.
So what happened was, are you still there? You're frozen. Oh no, you're good.
No, I'm like this. Like, I'm just, it's just so shocking because you're so young at the time.
Right.
I'm just trying to, as a mother, my child's going to be 12, Ezra, and I'm just trying to process that this happened to you at 14 years old. It's really
Mhm.
difficult.
So one thing that they would do as well was they would preach to me that because I was so young, I'm like God's gift. So like the pastor loved me up, down, left, right, and center because he would say to me like, you can. What was it? Something at 40. No,
Already at 20.
ready at 20. Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's one thing they preach about a lot is ready. Ready at 20. Is it Samson who was they would talk about a
Use the
specific.
days of your youth. It's like use not to go clubbing, not to use it to win souls for Jesus.
Yeah. So they were basically telling me I could be the world's youngest pastor. Like you could be the youngest pastor. Like you really, you're young. I'd have turned to God.
Quickly, a survivor on TikTok said that campaign started around 2018. So they're giving us context for when it started as well.
And that was around the time that I'm talking. How old am I? I'm 21 now.
Yeah.
I'm 21 now. So going back, that would have been around about 18. Yeah.
She said madness. This is crazy. You see how this is why silence is compliance. Because when we all talk, you see how we're connecting the dots. Because every time Dad will be preaching, like have a season. So in the 2000s, it was why you not a missionary? Plant churches, go out. That's why there's loads of missionaries that went out to start. And then it was like this targeting of the youth. Like we've got to get them to be pastors, establish them so that they can build more cults in the UK. That's what my hypothesis is.
Ready at 20 thing was really like it put a lot of pressure on me as well. I can't lie. It put a lot of pressure to do the New Believer School too. They had like extra camps that you could do. And my mom wasn't really comfortable with me doing them because a lot of them required me to be away from Sheffield. Like I said, I was 14. My mom is a
Were they
self.
trying to get you to go to the youth camps?
Yes. I even went to one in London, Leah. They took me to one in London. So,
Oh my God. We need to do another live on the camps because I was 19. Like, I was like 19 when I first started going
yeah,
camps.
I was
So,
14. Obviously, I had a curfew as well. I'm going to try and go in chronological order, but one thing
yeah.
just to add to that is that I had a curfew. My curfew, I had to be in the house by 7 o'clock. And a lot of the time, we would have meetings after church. And these meetings would run until like 8, 9 o'clock. And I said to my pastor, hey, I go home. And he said to me, like, do you not love God? Like, you should love God more than you love your parents. Your parents don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things because when you die, he told me, he said, when you
When
die,
you're unalive.
sorry, when I unalive, my parents won't be going to the grave with me. So the only person who goes is you and your spirit. So whatever your parents are saying, like, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of this is about you and God, not about your parents. So it got to the point where I was going home late. My mom kicked me out of that. No, it was actually my dad. My dad kicked me out of the house, so I was homeless. And they said to me, because this was going on and on and on, like I was late home every single Sunday. Because you need to pick between the church or your parents. And I chose the church because they were my family. They had shown me so much love. They'd shown me so much appreciation. They really cared about me. So yeah, it got to the point where my dad was like, my dad's Jamaican, Leah. So I
Yeah.
remember it vividly. The guy beat me, told me, you better get out of my house. So that's what I did. I packed up my stuff and I messaged my chef at the time. She was called Olga. Olga, that's her name. Yeah, and I will say your name and you will not silence me, Olga. Because why did I have to go in my message telling me, oh, you know that I gave so much to you. How dare you try and speak out against it? I will speak out because you're just as homophobic as the rest of them. I didn't see it at the time because I thought you was my best friend. Anyhow, so I messaged my friend Olga. She said, why don't you go stay with the boys, right, from the church? So it got to the point where I was living with these guys. I was 14 years old, living with these guys that I barely knew, right? So again, it's the indoctrination. It's like I've lost everything and you're giving me something. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I need you now. Now I need you. Like I actually need you in my life to survive. So that's what happened, right? And um yeah, I was living with you guys and that was at the height. Like I even think I was going through psychosis, I can't lie. So basically what happened was they would pray for me every day. We'd all sit in meals together, we would break bread together, we would go to church together. Now the guy who was like the main leader, the leader of these boys, he was called TK. TK name.
TK.
TK Taekwondo. If you want his full name. Yeah? And this guy was the leader of ushers. And he said to me, "Why haven't you joined the ministry yet? You know you should be using your talents for God." And I was like, "Oh, what did the ushers do?" He explained to me what the ushers do, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So then it got to the point where every Thursday I was going to a meeting. Every Sunday I had to be up at 8 o'clock to set up the church, to put the seats in place, and to make sure media was doing what they needed to do. So I had to wear suits and tie every single Sunday. I was going to meetings on Thursdays. I had the center on Wednesdays. Then we had flow prayer meetings online on Mondays at 3 o'clock in the morning. So every single day of the week, when on God's green grace of an earth, do you think I was revising for my GCSEs? I wasn't. And let me tell you, I ended up failing my GCSEs, Leah. It ruined my life. I failed my GCSEs, and they told me, "Oh, well, actually, I did good. I got an 8 in my English, but I failed my maths, completely failed my maths because I wasn't revising for it. I got a 1. Don't hold me. I got a 1 in my maths because I wasn't revising for it. I wasn't putting in any work or any dedication into my work life or my academic life because I was so focused on this church. So I ended up failing most of my GCSEs, and I thought to myself, my life is over. My life is actually over. Like, I don't know what to do now. They used to say to me, "You're not a good Christian because you don't trust in God. Don't trust in God, so you're not a good Christian. You need to start doing camp. You need to start praying more. You need to start doing this, the other." And basically said that the reason why I failed my GCSEs wasn't because of them, but it was because I wasn't present. So that's when I went on the camp. So there was a camp in London, and it was run by Bishop Richard IE. Don't get me started on that bull-headed conversation. But basically, what happened was we went to this church in London. It was a joint service. Um, and my mom had my location on my phone, and she was messaging me, "Why are you in London? Why are you in London? Why are you in London?" I was like, "Damn, go home." And they were like, "No, you can't leave." The doors were locked. Yeah, the doors were locked because they were saying that they didn't want the Holy Spirit to get out.
We bougie ghetto out here, man. We creative. So your GCSEs, they made you fail some of your maths, your GCSEs, yeah?
So basically, yeah, I went on this camp. They locked all the doors so no one could get out because yeah, they locked the doors because they didn't want the Holy Spirit to get out. And I thought to myself, "Damn, that's weird." But it made sense to me because everything they were saying to me made sense to me because these people had looked out for me. They'd given me a place when I was homeless. So like, why would I question anything they say? So I ended up staying. People were being healed. People were manifesting. This was my first time ever seeing manifestation happen. And it was a lot for me, a small little autistic boy like me. So I was overstimulated, and I went for a walk around London. My first time ever in London. London, I hate you, by the way. Um, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. So I didn't actually go into I wasn't really there for the service. I just went walking around London until it was done. Then we came home. Um, and when we was on the bus, there was a girl flirting with me. It was a coach. It was a coach. And there was this girl flirting with me. And I thought to myself, this is weird, but it was very soft core flirting. So it was one of them ones where you're thinking to yourself, are they flirting with me? Are they not? Like, I wasn't going to tell anyone about it because I wasn't sure if it was me being egotistical.
Was she a girl in the cult?
Yes,
Oh my
a
god.
girl in the court, and she was like 3, 4 years older than me. Bearing in mind, at this point in time, I'm still 14, guys. I'm still 14 years old. She was like 21, 22. So she was older
Oh
than
my
me.
god.
She was older than
This
me.
just keeps getting worse and worse.
And I'd never spoken to this girl before, so I'm pretty sure she didn't know my age. Let's take that into consideration. But
Okay.
in this conversation, I said to her, I was like, "Oh, like I'm actually 14," and she was like, "Oh, you look so much older. If you were like a few years older, like I would actually like have you." What a weird day.
Oh my god. They're
What
like that though, innit? The women in now pick these, they're so desperate. Well, as soon
a
as they see a handsome man, they're all up on it.
mm-hmm. So I found that interaction strange. But me and this girl, um, we ended up becoming best friends. Like to this day, I love you, babe.
Oh, all
Like
right, yeah. It's
that's
just that environment makes you like that because I was a pick me as well when I was there. Do you know what I mean? That's what they do to you in there, man. They're always talking about man, 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 husband, husband, every minute.
It's true. Yeah.
Marriage.
So me and this girl, yeah, we ended up becoming best friends. And her name is Pimpa. Pimpa, I love you, darling. Um, she's actually not that much older than like 2, 3 years older than me, but you know, yeah, she was like 19, something like 19, and I was like 14. So she's like 4 or 5 years. Um, and we ended up becoming like best. Like to this day, I love that girl down, and she is. I don't want to say too much, but I had a different friends, like, and me, her, and Pimple would be like a little trio. Because one thing you'll notice about First Love is that First Love is very cliquey. It's
Yeah.
very cliquey. So we had girls, Joy, Glenda, Grace, and who else? There was a group of girls who were all in the choir. There was like four of them. Bearing in mind
Yes.
Bearing in mind, this one girl, Glenda, I used to sit next to her in class because she was at my. We went to school together. She was the same age as me. In school, we used to sit next to each other in maths class, in Miss Davenport's maths class. Don't play games with me. Then when I seen her in church, she used to act like she didn't know who I was. She wouldn't say hi to me. She wouldn't talk to me. She would go out of her way to be away from me. And I used to think to myself, damn. And I'm not the kind of guy to let that slide. So I called her out on it. I said to her,
As you
hey,
should.
like, I don't like the fact that, we used to sit next to each other in math class, like, you know who I am, you know what I do, and
They
you,
move like that in there, though.
right. And she said to me, well, guys and girls shouldn't be like speaking to each other because it leads to fornication. And I said to myself, damn, like people don't have self-restraint, like what? And also, girl, what makes you think I want to fornicate with you in a million years? You little booktooth. Like, there is no way, child. There is no way, child. So the fact that you even was that egotistical to think that me fornicating was even a possibility, baby girl, because your two-tone lip says otherwise. Okay, so basically, yeah, she was really playing games with me, and I thought to myself, damn, like what? So then I noticed a lot of the girls in church wouldn't speak to me. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't come up to me unless I went up to them first. So I said to Pimpa, I was like, Pimpa, I was like, I'm gay, right? This is when I really came into terms with me being gay. And I said, I'm gay, right? But the way I said it in front of a girl called Mags. Mags, you nasty, dirty, stinky.
Yeah. I have to pause, y'all.
Yes, bitch.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
You got me feeling emotions higher than I ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
You got me feeling emotions higher than I ever dreamed of. We were calling people by name, baby.
Oh, Glenda. Yeah.
Yes, baby. Glenn.
Glenda. Yeah. So
Speak your truth.
when
Censor it though. PG version.
so when
Okay.
I seen her, I said to her, I'm gay, right? I'm gay. And she was like, no, no, I did not. No, I did not. Like she sounded like I just cursed her entire bloodline. And I was just thinking, like, girl, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like, you're a Christian, right? So you shouldn't be judging me right now. Sorry, the indigestion. Wow. So basically, what happened was then the next day, the pastor came to me, messaged me on WhatsApp, and said, I've heard some very disturbing things about you. Would you like to talk about it? And I was thinking, what's this? Like, what is this? So I then confided in him because one thing that they do in First Love a lot is they'll send people into your space, and like it gets to the point where you're talking to them more than you're talking to your family. You're talking to them more than you're talking to any like services that you're involved with. You're talking to them more than you're talking to your teachers in school. Like you're talking to them daily, so they know every aspect of your life, and they'll
Yeah.
message you to find stuff out. So like, have you prayed today? Have you? When was the last time you fornicated? When was the last time you masturbated? When was the last like I did like to find out. They go back to the pastor and tell the pastor about it. So this girl has gone back to the pastor and told the pastor, hey, just so that you know, he's dealing with homosexual urges. No, baby, I'm just a homosexual. The pastor came now and was talking about oh yeah, I heard you've been dealing with these urges. Like it's quite disturbing. Thinking like, what? Because I didn't know, like I said, I didn't grow up a Christian, so I don't really know like what Christians like the way Christians like viewed homosexuality like that. I wasn't aware of it. So when my pastor said I find it quite disturbing, I was like, damn, I should find that disturbing too. If my pastor's disturbed, I should be disturbed too. So then I started to think to myself, is that why I failed my GCSEs? Is that why I have this? Is that why I have that? Because I'm homosexual and I've been dealing with these urges for so long. Let me tell you about Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, girl. So I was dealing with these urges for so long. I think even like because as a kid, like I didn't even know the difference between gay and straight. All I knew is I liked guys. That was it. I didn't clock that that made me gay. I just thought, damn, I like people the same way everyone else likes people. But then obviously now I'm 14, coming up to 15. Like I'm starting to really like come into my own. I'm on social media. Obviously, I'm seeing stuff on social media. Obviously, I'm learning about more things because I chose to do health and social care at college, and part of that was SDX education. And I really started to understand that gay, like that's a thing. Like maybe that's what I am. So um, like I said, I really came into it and I understood like this urge that I had. It was impure. It was unnatural. Like this is what my pastor was telling me. Um, that what I was feeling wasn't something that I should be feeling. So I really was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what do I do about it? He said to me, you need to pray. What you need to do is you need to lock yourself in a dark room and you need to pray and fast. And he gave me he gave me scripture. He gave me scripture, and now I don't remember what the scripture was that he gave. But it was more or less along the lines of a spiritual man who prays like a lot, like you can cast out any demon. So now I'm thinking, damn, I'm being afflicted by a demon. Do you get what I'm saying?
They make
So
you feel like you're possessed, innit?
they
And
make me
they're the only ones that can heal you, like help you. That's
right,
what they did with my mental health.
right. So like
Yeah.
the only like they told me as well, like Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. So obviously I'm thinking now the only way to cure myself of this homosexuality because they really demonized the homosexuality to the point where I was thinking to myself, like there's something wrong with me. I need an exorcism. Like I need support. I need to check myself. I personally, like I said, I'm autistic, so I take things to like the extreme. One thing I did, there's a place called the Maple Ward in Sheffield. It's a mental health ward. I checked myself into the Maple Ward because I was homosexual, because I genuinely believed that there was something wrong with me, that I was being afflicted by a demon, that I was wrong, I was corrupt. I hated myself, Leah,
I'm
to
so
the point
sorry.
where what happened was, like I say, they told me to fast, and I basically locked myself in my bedroom. I wasn't doing any of my studying. All I would do all day, every day was pray, 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 pray. So this was the point where I was so run down. I lasted like 4 or 5 days of praying. Like I said, there were certain urges that I'd have to eat. I've spoken to you about this like in small detail, but there were certain urges I would have to eat. So I would eat, and then I would feel guilty for eating. So I would forcefully, I would put my fingers in the back of my throat and I would make myself throw it back up. So it got to the point I had bulimia. My gums were all bleeding, because I was severely malnourished. I'd lost so much weight. I was coughing blood, and there was blood in my urine. Like I was so ran down. My kidneys were failing. Like, bro, I was hospitalized. They made a very pointed effort to come and visit me in the hospital. Every day they would come and bring me fruit and veg and, sit with me, talk to me, give me scriptures, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. So, um, that was really a rough time for me. Around this time as well, my parents were going through a divorce, and they told me that what happened was because I had stopped praying, because I had fasted properly and I was doing it in a way, they basically told me that because I was making myself throw up, it was for my body image and you shouldn't be doing it for your body image. So that's the reason why my parents were getting a divorce. And again, like I say, I believed all of this because why would they lie to me? These were my family. I've known them for years because at this point I'm like 16, 17. Like I'm really like Because, like, don't think for a second that this wasn't going on and on and on and on and on. This went on for years, Leah. Then, when I finally came out of the hospital, I went to. Please don't cry, baby. Don't cry.
I'm sorry, Ezra. I was really trying to hold this. I'm so sorry. I don't want to draw you out.
Conversation we're having now, Pastor. I told him, look, this is who I am. This is how I am. He said, well, have you acted? And I said, yes, I have.
Have you
Um,
what?
acted on it because he
Or
said
have you acted on these urges?
yes.
Okay. And you
So
said yes.
yes. Then he said, well, you need deliverance. You need deliverance. Um, and I was like, why? Like, what is wrong with like me being how I am? Because if I held a UV light in your bedroom, there would be stains everywhere. So what makes your sin any less than my sin? And I clocked him. And he said to me, well, the thing is, you sin in the light and you're proud of your sin. And I said, what? Is it better to sin in the darkness? So me and my pastor got into a huge argument. Then around this time, a girl called Tracy came out. We all had a big group chat on WhatsApp called First Love Family. In this group chat, she exposed the pastor for rooming her. And basically said that he was like trying to coerce her to having romantic feelings for him so that she would stay established in the church. And I was like, yo, see. So she paragraph. He love bombed her. He would send her gifts in the middle of the night. He would bring flowers to the center. Sometimes they would link up just her alone, which is really weird, odd behavior pastor. So then all of a sudden, Leah, the group chat gets removed. The whole group, everyone gets removed from the group chat. The next week, we have a new pastor called Elder. And it turns out Pastor Phil, that was his name, he got transferred to Ghana.
Just can't make this stuff up, can you?
To me, it sounds like you've been transferred to Ghana because you're running away from grooming.
That's what they do. They transfer them.
He got transferred to Ghana after these grooming allegations. I noticed little details as well, like certain things would happen. So I even wrote down notes. I saw women that would be used for like unpaid labor. So what
Yeah.
what would happen was like they'd have to cook food in church and not be paid for it. They would have to serve food. They would have to pick up equipment like sound equipment and stuff like that for church. Sorry for the place of worship. Um, they would have to do all kinds of crazy things. There was one girl. Olga told me about a story. Yeah, I'm gonna air out your business on Instagram Live, baby girl. Sorry. What happened was Olga told me that Elder Torero was from Manchester. Obviously, we're talking about Sheffield now. Elder Torero had nowhere to stay in Sheffield, so she used her power. She used the fact that she was the pastor to abuse her control and say, look, I'm staying in your house. You're going to drive me to work every morning. You're going to cook for me. You're going to do this for me. And if you do it, you'll be seen as a fruitful person because you helped me. So it got to the point where Olga was running late to work. She was skipping out on work so that she could take Elder Torero to work. She would Elder Torero took Olga's car keys one time and didn't even tell her about it. And she basically used her control in the church to abuse her power.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
so she also got removed. And then we got a new pastor called
What was the pastor called?
Patrick. So Patrick didn't know that I was LGBTQ. But look at me, like I think it was kind of obvious that certain parts of it that were obvious. Um,
You're so funny.
And I noticed that there were times where he would just act really uncomfortable around me, wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't like associate himself with me. Anytime I asked for prayers, he would like place his hand on someone's forehead. He wouldn't touch me at all. He would just put his hand like this.
Oh.
So, and I thought, what's that all about? So I basically called him out on it because I found it really strange. He said, well, I just don't want to catch it. And I said, what? He said, I don't want to catch it. When a demon leaves someone's body, it inflicts somebody else. So you even deliver yourself from it. What you need to do is try to like, either have deliverance or you need to fast and pray. And I said, I've tried both of those things and it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. This is how I am. I am LGBTQ. It does not go away. He said, well, have you tried exposure therapy? And I said, no. What's that? And he said, I want you to go with women and come back to me and tell me how it felt.
I want you to what, sleep with women and come back and
Yes.
tell me how it feels.
Yes.
Who told you to do this? The pastor?
The pastor. Yeah. So that's what I did. I went out. I had this girl who was really, because for some reason I pull more women than I do men. Question mark. There was a girl. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And I used her. I used her for sex. We had sex like 3 or 4 times.
You have to say slept with each other.
Oh, damn. Okay, we slept with each other 3 or 4 times. And I was feeling it. And I told my pastor about it, and he said, "Well, maybe it was the woman. Why didn't you try a different woman? Was the
Oh
woman
my God.
Did the woman bear fruits? Was she spiritual?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, you need to find a beloved in the church." He said, "It's okay to be LGBTQ. It's just not okay to act on it." So what I mean by that is like you can be afflicted by a demon and just not let that demon win. And I was like, "Damn, like what?" But that's enough about LGBTQ stuff. Now the next thing I want to go on to is how they treat women in the church.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The two
So
groups that I think are most oppressed and whatever is LGBTQ plus and women.
100%. Um, and like I want people to know as well, like here, like this me, and I'm speaking for Leah as well. My goal here is not to attack spirituality in any way, shape, or form. Like, and it's just to share how dangerous it can be to be, when religion is used as a tool for control. Um,
Mm.
and I want you guys to know that like there is a way to find freedom after that. Like once you've been in that kind of high control setting. Me, I'm studying biomedical science at Liverpool, John Moores University. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yes, get
Like
it.
I failed my GCSEs, I dropped out of college, but I still found a way to make things work. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the end of the world. I can get out, and there are people like me and Leah who will protect.
Yes.
So one thing that Daki Mills does very well is he pushes this patriarchal rhetoric. He pushes a version of Christianity where women are seen as like less than men. And one example I can give personally is I had a friend. So what they do is they have this beloved system in the church. So they set you up with somebody and say, look, this person would go well together. Then they chaperone you on a date, and then within 2 months you're supposed to be married. And usually that's like third year students that they target that they believe that you need to be married by the end of your third year of university. So we're looking at like the ages of like, I don't know, 20, 21, maybe 22 at a push. If you're not married by that age, you're seen as like unfruitful, which means like just think of the word. You don't have fruits. You're not a spiritual person. Like you say that you're spiritual, but you don't really give much to the church. You're not, giving to the church. And one thing that I preach so much is, like I said, they talk about using your gifts for God. And for a woman, her gifts are seen nothing but her body. So in one of Jack Hewitt Mills's books, it actually says that as a woman, you should always be eager to please your man, because it's your God-given duty. If you don't believe me, I can pull up the book and the page. On page 41 of A Model Marriage, the book by David Mills, chapter 4, it says the role of I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up for you. Anyone who's on the Instagram, my Instagram is ZLYXX. You guys can come over to the Instagram and I will show you the book by Dr. Mills, so you can see that I'm not just saying this is actually what's written in his book. Let me pull this up. So yeah, like he preaches a rhetoric that is very patriarchal. It's very, you need to serve your man. Here we are. Provide Oh, I don't know if I can show this on live because I don't know if it'll get banned, but we'll show it on the Instagram. So you can see it says the roles of a wife. You must always be eager and ready to meet the needs of your partner and your own. You must initiate sex sometime. Remember that you will only be doing your God-given duty. That's what it says in his book. Then on the next page, every wife has a God-given duty to satisfy the sexual needs of her husband. Usually, the need to have is greater for men than it is for women. Many wives find their husbands' persistent advances for a bother. A wife should know and understand that if she does not take care of her husband's needs, she may push him to seek fulfillment elsewhere, and this will lead to a lot of heartache and pain. It is therefore within her own interest to satisfy him sexually at home. That's what's written in his book. That's what it says in his book. So, for me, if a woman is saying no, 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 I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to, which it says here, they find their persistent advances for a bother. That's what that is. They're saying no. They're saying no, and they keep on pestering them for it. Pestering. That is what he's meaning by that. You should just give in and give it to him anyway. That, my friends, is what we call marital. That, my friends, is what we call marital SA. So what he's teaching here is that you should be okay with your spouse ping you. That's from the horse's mouth, y'all. That's from the horse's mouth, y'all. Not from mine. So we also, the men don't do it, the men do it, but not as much. But the women specifically are told that they need to call him daddy. So they call him daddy because he's a spiritual father. Which in itself is just weird. Like, that's really strange. Especially because the Bible says, "Oh, no other man your father." That is what the Bible says. So we're preaching rhetoric that isn't even like within the realm of Christianity or of that particular religion more. We're just preaching the rhetoric that Dag Hewitt Mills wants to hear. And again, like I say, it gets to a point where you are just only hearing what Dag wants you to hear. So anyhow, the story that I'm going to tell you is a story about how my friend was almost married off to a man who was twice her age. Yep, I said it. Almost married off to a man who was twice her age. So what happened was, there was a girl, for the sake of the conversation, we're going to call her Candice. So Candice was, at the time, she was 20, just turned 20. And the pastor came to her and said, "Hey, I have a guy interested in you. He's 21. He really likes you, and I want to take you guys on a date." She said, "Who is he? Who is he?" She said, "You don't know him. You don't know him. It's fine. You don't know him. It's okay. You don't know him." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm interested, but I need to know like what this guy looks like first. I need to know a little bit more about this guy before I go on a date. Like, I don't know who this person is." So she they end up telling her like, "No, we can't. Like, you need to just go on the date with the guy, see how it goes, and take it from there." So I'm thinking, okay, cool. The one in Leah's live said they hate the Caribbeans too. That's 100%.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, stop this one. They
That
do.
is true.
They treat the Caribbeans like the inferior race in there, and they're always comparing like Caribbeans are single mums and things like that.
Yeah, 100%. Um, so basically, yeah, this girl ends up on this date with this guy, but then she recognizes him. She knows him. He's actually 41 years old, guys. He's 41 years old. His name is Dammy. The one who hit down to the ground. His name is Dammy. Dammy is his name, Damilola. So it turns out this guy actually 41 years old. They told her that she was 20. She ended up leaving the church because she was so betrayed by them that they tried to set her up with a guy who was a lot significantly older than her and older than they said that she was, so that she would marry him and have babies with him. in the chat.
I was in a marriage for almost 10 years, almost a decade, and I was groomed and pressured to be this like model marriage, which is this, you know, the total wife, the model marriage. So I went through all of that. Some stuff I'm not quite ready to talk about, but some of the things you have touched on that I experienced, you know what I mean? So as you've been talking about the total wife and breaking down the model marriage, because I was actually living it and I was the total wife, I became that. And I was a lave and I was a urban, and it was really ABUSE in the marriage, and I felt like I couldn't escape it because I would go to HELL. I thought you know, I just didn't think that there was a way out, like scripturally, and they groom you to be able to put up with ABUSE. They groom you, do you get what I'm saying, to accept less than the bare minimum. So I'm just going to look at some points, guys, around the propaganda, and then Ezra, just come and chip in whenever you want. But do you want me to talk a little bit about, give some psychology behind what Ezra's been saying? So in these settings, the religious leader systematically preaches that marriages are inherently unhappy and that women must submit or bear the burden of the relational failure. It's usually not neutral theology, it's a projection and social control, because it's because a lot of these mogs and these forces and whatever, they are in unhappy marriages. So they'll preach a lot of rhetoric around like you know, you become like brother and sister after a while, the passion goes, you know, and that's not the truth, that's their truth, because they're experiencing it, then they project it onto the women. And that's why they twist and manipulate the scriptures to make these women accept the bare minimum and accept these dusty men, because there's no men of real caliber. Do you know what I'm saying? The men come young, and then even when you're in there, you don't have your own mind. So it's not even just about money. It's the fact that these guys don't have a mind of their own. They're being dictated to, and they're being instructed by, you know, man like Bishop Richard, you know what I'm saying, like any RDSs. Do you get it? So that narrative protects patriarchal power. It excuses abusers and turns spiritual language into a training manual for coercion. So let's look at psychology and coercive control and how the message works. So there's projection and rationalization. So the abusers and men in unhappy marriages often externalize their emptiness. So these guys are dusty. They're in survival mode. So they take that out on the women. That's why they're ABUSE to the women. There's another piece with this as well, that, you know, you were talking about your friend where the guy was like 10 years older. Automatically, he's going to have an upper hand on that woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? Automatically, he will, because of the advantage of him being that little bit older. And they want a woman that's naive. They want a woman, you know, whose brain hasn't fully formed, a woman that doesn't have much experience, a woman who's not cultured. Because then you see that these women they're stuck in remember in the cult, they're stuck in this time warp. So when they marry at 19, they marry at 20, whatever, there's no new experiences. And then there's also a piece about the men who are not so religious. I don't know if you've seen couples like that in the church where the woman's really involved, like doing everything, and then the husband just comes maybe like on a Sunday. You know what I mean? He's got his own life, he's doing whatever he's doing, and the woman is completely, you know, sold out to the ministry. Did you want to come in and add anything, babe?
No, you keep talking.
So by teaching that marriage naturally declines, so what they teach is that over time, they would say things like, oh, I was driving today and I saw a couple at the bus stop, and I just knew straight away that they were in the honeymoon phase. They were all over each other, kissing each other. They were probably fornicating. We know that the marriage is not ordained by God.
And
But
the stories
we know when it's young.
The stories are never true.
Never true. Well, like another thing that they preach in the church as well, and this is what I want to demystify. Big yourself up, CKD. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok. Thanks for all the like and the live. They also lie and say like older women aren't desired. The reason why is because older women don't want y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like older women have got their ish together. Like it's a cycle. They get the young girls, they GROOM them, they act a damn FOOL, they cheat, they destroy the woman, they turn the woman mad up. And that's how the woman wises up. But then they make it out like the woman, the female, is the problem. It's all lies. So they normalize their own dysfunction and avoid accountability. It's all about the avoidance of accountability. And that is the psychology and coercive control. Then they do up gaslighting. They reframe a victim's reasonable anger. So Ezra was talking about reasonable anger, and they reframe it as demonic.
or they reframe it as grief, as spiritual failure. You were talking about that, weren't you, Ez? About that. So that's gaslighting. Hey, Queen Elita, that's gaslighting, yeah? Guys, can someone pin... Everybody, please follow Ezra, guys, because he's on TikTok and he's trying to speak his truth on it. I think that's Instagram as well. So let's follow him up, collective. Let's support him, man. It takes a lot to come out and speak your truth. And guys, it's giving Left Eye Lopez my eye today. Let me put on new glasses. I need to wipe them. So in the meantime, so you're not so the stuff that they'll put to gaslight you is that you're not praying hard enough, you're not praying enough, you're not spiritual enough, you're not reading Bishop's books enough, you're not, you're not listening to the message. It's always a you problem. It's never a them problem. So the victim doubts their own reality. So that's where the distorted reality starts to come into it, the cognitive dissonance. Then we've got the gradual isolation. So they teach women their primary duty is service to the church and husband. So they're not even going to get be able to make friends outside of the group. They're not going to be able to have other cultured women. They sit there, oh, how is the husband? Oh, the husband is well. How's ministry? How's the branch going? It's going well. That's the closed system. It's an echo chamber. They don't want them to mix with a woman that's, traveling the world and she's got her business and she's got a worldly woman, independent. A man will never marry her. No, baby. A dusty man. Let's correct ourselves. Wouldn't marry her. An insecure man. A man that is not in his masculine energy. A man that's insecure. A man that's afraid. A man that's not, felt like he's achieved much. Wouldn't go for a woman like that. All right. So they kind of tailor make the message for the majority, because not everyone in there is a brokey. But because they teach the men to be tight, not rate the wives and give them the bare minimum, they are a brokey. Do you get it? Because the wives are getting less than bare minimum. They don't take them on holidays. They don't buy them. They don't just do nothing because they don't have to. The women in there are desperate. So they deprioritize external friendships, family, education, then label outside relationships as worldly, EVIL. They've got that scripture about Jesus. To follow Jesus Christ, you have to HATE your mother, your father, take up your cross and follow me. There's a book called Losing, Sacrificing and Unaliving. There's a lot around isolation. There's a lot around that suffering rhetoric. Yes, and they cheat. Prolific cheaters. Then we've got identity erosion, repetition, and ritual. Sorry, guys, because my friend is getting a message that I think she needs to respond back to. So I'm trying to send the message to myself. Give me 1 second. It's
Okay. Swap phones.
I need to send the message to myself. 1 second, guys.
Send it to me free.
1 sec, guys. I'm so sorry about this. But the main thing that you need to understand is that they GROOM the women to accept misogynistic behavior from the men. You've got to remember with these men as well, there's toxic hyper masculinity. So it's a false sense of masculinity in which they break down the woman, because that's what the Mogs and the Porsters are doing, twisting scriptures for their own gain. Yeah, and because they're thieves as well. All right, so let's look at we've looked at gradual identity erosion. So repetition plus ritual. Everything there's a ritual to it. So confessions, public submission. When they'll shame the wives from the pulpit. Oh, there are wives here. They don't have to cook for their husbands. They don't have to cook for their husbands. They're saying that their husbands are not bringing enough money for the things that he wants to cook. A Proverbs 31 woman will make her way. It's all of that human fecal matter. It hollows out a person's sense of self. When your identity is a helpmeet or a minister's wife or an extra spare leg, an extra spare part, you stop recognizing your own needs. You see it, your sense of identity starts to erode away. They also preach that tithing and donating money is a way to be seen as a good spouse. Yeah. Oh my God, Ezra. Oh my God, this guy is so bloody smart. You're the male version of me. Guys, pin it. I know it sounds vain because I big him up so much and I'm like, you're like me, but it is what it is. Can we pin it? That's exactly what they do. So when the men walk up to give an offering, they'll be like, ladies, are we seeing Jonathan? Jonathan is always giving, and a husband is a man who is generous to the cult. A man that is generous to the cult. So they do all of that. They'll call out women, and it's like positive and negative reinforcement. But you just don't clock it at the time, man, because you just want to be called by them. You want to feel special. Oh, it's crazy in there, man. All right, let's move on to the next point. Control of meaning. So they use scriptures, rituals, and group approval to define what success and holiness look like. Usually obedience, silence, and sacrifice. You get that part where I said to you, they're all in this echo chamber and they're in the self-sealing system. So they're just mixing with the same women. Oh, how are things going? Oh, it is fine. Have you seen Bishop's new messages? Oh, how is the house? I heard you moved. Like, very surface level, shallow, pick me. Yeah, they will give a blessing. You shall receive a good wife. Oh my God, yeah, receive a good wife. Be like, how many people want to come up and give £100? And then they'll be going, oh, Jonathan, have you got a beloved? Mercy, mercy. Oh, Jonathan, receive a good wife. Oh, thank you, Bishop. Punishment and reward. Spiritual praise for compliance. Shame or correction for resistance. The intermittent reinforcement is a powerful behavioral tool. Think conditioning. So this part of the punish and reward is the element of the bite control that's behavior control. Yeah, when we look at Stephen Hassan's work, because that's how they control your behavior. If you like, I remember one of the first conventions I went to, I'd only been in the cult for a couple of months and I was chewing gum, and Bishop stopped preaching in front of everyone and he said, can you take the gum out? And I was like, but I was so happy, you know, that he called me out and whatever. Yeah. Fear and threat. They imply spiritual consequences, curses for lack of blessing, for leaving or challenging leadership to maintain compliance. And then you've got to remember that the women are at the bottom of the food chain. So they're completely controlled. So if we added an extra layer of that around DV, the man putting his hands on the woman, I mean, could you imagine? It must be absolute HELL. And guys, the psychological, emotional ABUSE, the women don't even know what like emotional and psychological ABUSE is, because when they come to that realization, they'll notice that that's what their husbands are doing to them. So do you see it's easier for them to go to church and smile and wave and wear their wedding ring and act fake, and everybody's acting fake and the pastor is sleeping with everybody. But my husband, it's the only day my husband comes with me to church is when on a Sunday. Doesn't take her nowhere, chair. I remember he drew some guy out by saying his beard was patchy and he needed to shave. Oh no. Oh my God, that is really embarrassing, isn't it? But you know, Richard, he's just EVIL. He really does get like a kick out of doing that. He thrives off it. He loves it. He loves telling young people that they're damaged goods, they're worthless. You know, that's what he enjoys doing, because he has to discard people, because they discard people so young. Because look at Ezra. Ezra started when he was 14. He's been in there 7 years. By the time of 7 years, he's 21. But that's like old meat. They want fresh meat now, the new 14, new 50, because they recruit them young. So by the time you're like 25, 26, you got to be married. Moving on. Now we need the young ones to get them trapped in the system and get them involved in all of the work. So what they start doing is moving them into leadership. It's a trap, man. Making people feel like, do you get what I'm saying? Because they've been given this position now, they've been promoted. So that's where they create all of those fake titles and positions, a pyramid scheme. So you don't notice that they're discarding you. So that, because for example, there was a woman called LP Marcella. Yeah, pyramid scheme girl. She used to have a beautiful guys. Like, you know, when I say there was no singers there, but the only one that could step to me when it came to the singing was this woman called LP Marcella. I would say like me and her, our voices were like on the same, in that whole church, the only one that I would say that ever had a voice to like step to me was her. It was so jazzy, and she had like this like, she could go really low, like low notes, and then she could go quite high, and she had such a beautiful voice. Yeah, oh my God, when you heard her sing, guys, it was amazing. So they do use the singers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, to grow the church and stuff, because I used to look forward to the Tuesday service and hearing her sing. I can't, why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, so she was singing for years and she had a beautiful voice, but once they started rebranding it as First Love, she didn't fit in. She didn't look young enough. She didn't look hip enough, because you had Dan and is it Aisha, the sisters, and then like all these young kids. You get what I'm saying? Remember like Sharina and them, man, they were like, she was, and the thing is, Marcella weren't that old, but it aged her, man. The ministry, the environment aged her. When I found out that woman was younger than me, my mouth was like, are you all right? Because she was so young, she had to appear older as well, because it's like they want you to be like adults. Because really, adults should be doing these things like leading a choir and leading groups and leading film stars, and it shouldn't be kids. They've got school to do, babes. It should be get. That's what I'm saying. Just grow the church steadily. Get someone who's an adult. There should be an adult. These are young people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then when they want to move on, let them move on. That's the point. You're not supposed to be like Dad will tell you that. Like you're supposed to be with him in his church until you unalive. Like that's the rhetoric that my man is teaching up in there. Yeah. So I felt like it was like my mission. Like he makes it, the way they make you feel in there is like the DEVIL is trying to get you out of the place of worship, not from God, not from. It's the place of worship. It's the ministry. What is the ministry? What you're doing for the cult. So don't you see? They make it all synonymous with God. Like it's mad. That's why people are coming out losing their minds. All right, guys. Ezra, are you still there, baby? Because I think I'm going to end on this one and see if Ezra wants to come back and say anything, because I think he's got a call coming. So I'm going to share this last bit. So, guys, if you've got any questions, I might be back on later. I am feeling like I might come. YouTube, you've got a dodgy. You lot are a bit lopsided, isn't it? I'm so sorry, guys. It's the best I can do. Hey, babe.
Hi, I'm still here.
All right, my love. I was going to finish on this point. So, is there anything else that you wanted to add, my love?
No,
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy to stay on? Because if you need to go or don't feel pressured that like you need to stay on or anything, my love.
No, I do need to go.
Okay, well, I want to just say thank you so much for your time, because I know you said you didn't even have time because you booked him busy, baby. I was begging him like, please, he's famous outside of these streets, bitch. Thank you for your time, King, because I know that, you know, you were double booked today, and I know we had that conversation and you said that you were only supposed to be on for 10 minutes. So you're like an hour behind, aren't you?
I mean, I had a lot to say, so.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do, whatever. So let's speak and let's arrange another time, because I think these lives are really, really good, and I want to do one on TikTok for next time.
Yes,
And
please.
if you've got 2 devices, then we can be on TikTok and Instagram at the same time and just have you like the camera just facing you.
Yeah,
because that would be good, because we still got a really good viewing on Instagram. Thank you so much, King. I'm gonna download this, and then I'm gonna chop it up, and then I'll tag in Collective, and I'll send you, once I edit, I'll send you the parts so that you can do whatever you want with it across your social media. I'll send you the raw edit. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
All right, my babes. All right, so whenever you need to go, just feel free, my love.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. I love Ezra. He's such a kid. Aren't we lucky to have him? I'm so happy because, you know, the survivors are so lit, Chair. The survivors are so lit. Ezra, when you look at this later, the survivors are saying thank you on there. Other survivors are also sharing your socials on there. We got you, King. We stand with you 100%, 10 toes down. We are the collective.